Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride. These are the 7 deadly sins which, according to Christian tradition, are considered particularly harmful traits because they are believed to lead to other sins, further moral corruption, and ultimately, separation from God. Here is a look at each of these sins, and more importantly, how you can avoid being drawn into them. So the first sin is lust. Lust is a powerful and overwhelming desire, often manifested as excessive sexual cravings. The Bible makes it clear that lust is wrong in Matthew 5:28, which reads, "But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This verse underscores the belief that lustful thoughts, not just actions, can be morally compromising. The consequences of lust can be devastating. It can cause the breakup of families and friendships. It causes physical, mental, and spiritual damage. And there are feelings of guilt, shame, and more. To combat lust, it is essential to nurture healthy, respectful relationships that honour the dignity of others. Self-control is crucial, as is channeling one's energy and passions into positive and creative endeavours. This will help cultivate a deeper understanding of love and intimacy that goes beyond physical attraction and can also help in managing and redirecting lustful tendencies. The next sin is gluttony. Gluttony goes beyond simply enjoying food and drink. It is the overindulgence and overconsumption to a point of waste, often leading to both physical and spiritual harm. Proverbs chapter 23 verses 20-21 warn of its dangers by saying, "Be not among drunkards or among gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty." This sin is not just about eating too much, but also about a disordered relationship with sustenance, often reflecting a deeper yearning or emptiness. There are many consequences of gluttony, from health and physical problems to serious mental problems like depression and anxiety. To avoid gluttony, it's beneficial to practice mindful eating, appreciate the nourishment that food provides, and understand that the role of food is to help maintain health and vitality. It's not just for a source of pleasure. Embracing gratitude for meals and practicing moderation and having a healthy relationship with food will help to keep gluttony at bay. The third sin is greed. Greed is an insatiable longing for material gain, be it money, power, or possessions. It's perfectly captured in 1 Timothy 6:10, which reads, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evils." This passage suggests that greed can lead to various moral failings and destructive behaviours. Greed often stems from a deeper sense of insecurity or a misguided belief that wealth and possessions can bring ultimate fulfillment. The effects of greed usually include jealousy, dishonesty, malice, and distrust of others. It can also cause tension in relationships and lead to isolation from others, and of course from God. To counteract greed, fostering a sense of contentment and gratitude for one's current blessings is vital. Practicing generosity not only benefits others, but also helps in detaching from the constant desire for more. Additionally, finding richness in relationships, experiences, and spiritual growth can shift away from the material accumulation and towards a more fulfilling life. The next sin is sloth. Sloth is more than just laziness. It's a neglect of one's duties and a failure to utilize one's talents and abilities. This sin is highlighted in Proverbs 13:4, which states, "The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied." Sloth can manifest in many forms, including procrastination, an unwillingness to act, or just a general lack of purpose. It's not just physical laziness either, but a spiritual apathy or indifference. Sloth can have negative consequences on your personal and professional life. It can lead to difficulties in completing daily tasks, maintaining a stable job, pursuing education, or achieving long-term goals. To combat sloth, it's important to establish a routine that encourages productivity and purposeful action. Setting achievable goals and pursuing activities that engage both the mind and spirit can help greatly. Finding meaning and value in daily tasks and responsibilities, and recognizing the importance of contributing to one's community and personal growth are also keys to overcoming sloth. The next sin is wrath. Wrath, or extreme anger, can lead to hostility, aggression, and even violence. Ephesians chapter 4 verses 31 and 32 warn against this by saying, Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamour and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Wrath often arises from a sense of perceived injustice or frustration, but when it spirals out of control, it can destroy relationships and lead to destructive behaviour. People with anger issues typically end up isolating themselves from others, as well as causing irreparable damage to those close to them. Managing wrath involves cultivating patience and learning to control one's temper. It's also important to develop healthy coping mechanisms for strength and frustration. Engaging in open and empathetic communication can aid in understanding the perspectives of others, and it helps to resolve conflicts peacefully. Reflecting on the transient nature of anger and focusing on forgiveness and understanding can also diminish the power of wrath. The next sin is envy. Envy is a feeling of discontent or resentful longing provoked by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck, as cautioned in James chapter 3 verses 14 to 16, which reads, "But if you have bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth." Envy can erode self-esteem and lead to bitterness and ill will towards others. It often stems from comparing yourself with others and focusing on what you think you lack. This can cause jealousy and resentment towards others, as well as constant dissatisfaction with yourself. It can also cause problems in relationships, as you'll find it difficult to be happy for others' successes. To combat envy, one should cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment in their own life, recognizing and celebrating the achievements and happiness of others, rather than viewing them as competition, can help to mitigate feelings of envy. Focusing on personal growth and setting individual goals can also redirect energy positively away from envy and towards your own self-improvement. And the final sin is pride. Pride is often considered the most serious of the deadly sins, and this is because it's an excessive belief in one's own abilities, meaning that you think you're better or superior than others, and you end up disregarding the grace of God. It is warned against in Proverbs 16:18, which reads, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall." Pride can lead to arrogance, a lack of empathy, and an inability to see one's own faults. It often masks insecurities and can prevent individuals from forming genuine connections with others. To combat pride, practicing humility and acknowledging one's limitations and need for others is essential. Being open to learning and accepting constructive criticism helps to maintain a balanced perspective on oneself. And recognizing the contributions and worth of others helps you to see where you play a part in the larger community, and could also help in keeping your pride in check. So there you have it, the 7 deadly sins and why these behaviours are still so toxic today. Please leave any comments or feedback you have below, it's much appreciated, and have a great day. God bless.